Steph Curry is one of the greatest players of all time, and throughout his career, he's been able to win a total of 4 championships. So in today's video, we're going to try and win Curry his 5th, and if we're lucky, maybe even his 6th championship. We are starting off in the beginning of the 25-26 season, and as of right now, this here will be our 9-man rotation. So in the starting lineup, we have ourselves Stephen Curry, Moses Moody, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, and Kristaps Porzingis. And then off the bench, we have Brennan Pajemski, Q Santos, Al Horford, and DeAnthony Melton. And of course, trades will be made to build a perfect team around Curry so he could go out there and win his 5th championship. But let's simulate the first few games with this team to see how we do. The first game is up against the Lakers, who we go on to defeat 133-114. Curry had himself a 30-point double-double, 28 from Butler, and 21 from Porzingis. We did also defeat the Denver Nuggets 167-123 and the Portland Trail Blazers. We almost scored 170 points. Jimmy Buckets had himself 40, 29 from Curry, and 21 from Porzingis. Throughout this first week, our team has been pretty unstoppable. Let's take a look at system proficiency. We will be rolling with a 4-star overall system proficiency, perimeter-centric under Steve Kerr. Before I go to the trade deadline, we are trying to hit 10,000 subscribers this summer, and it's definitely possible with your guys' support. So please make sure you hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to like the video and hype the video. All 3 buttons are absolutely free and help out the channel a ton. We are stopped here at the trade deadline, and currently our team is the number 2 seed with 36 wins and 15 losses. But as you guys can see in this last month, we've been losing a lot of games, so I am still going to be pulling off some trades. Let me look around the league and see which trades would make most sense for our team, and I'll show you guys once I come up with those decisions. All season long, there were rumors about Zion Williamson possibly being traded to the Golden State Warriors, and we're going to try and make that into a reality. Draymond Green has been playing awful here, shooting 37% from the field, 28% from the 3-point line, so I'm going to try and trade Draymond for Zion Williamson. I will also throw in a player like Quinton Post. Let's see what they say, and of course, for now they do decline, but I am going to start throwing in some first-round picks. 2 first-round picks does not get it done. What about 3 first-round picks? Can we get Zion? And no, they still decline. It might take us 4 first-round picks, and it looks like we land ourselves Zion Williamson for 4 first-round picks and Draymond Green. I've thrown Moses Moody a first-round pick and a second-round pick in Trade Finder, and the Portland Trail Blazers are offering us Tamani Kamara and Matisse Thybulle for Moody, Seth Curry, first-round pick, and a second-round pick, and I think we're going to make this trade happen. If we get Tamani Kamara, we could change his position to small forward, move Jimmy Butler to the 2, and have ourselves a perfect starting lineup. So let's go ahead and pull off this trade. And after pulling off those trades, this here's our brand new starting lineup. We have ourselves Stephen Curry, Butler, Kamara, Zion Williamson, and Kristaps Porzingis. I am now going to simulate until the end of this season, where hopefully we go on to win ourselves a championship. At the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama goes on to win his first ever MVP, Cooper Flag Rookie of the Year, Josh Giddey 6-man, Wemby also winning Defensive Player, Buzelis wins Most Improved, Nikola Jokic Clutch Player, our head coach Steve Kerr goes on to win Coach of the Year, and we also win Executive. Let's see if we get ourselves any All-NBA selections, and whoa, we don't get a single All-NBA selection, which is kind of surprising. Do we get anybody here on all defenses? So it looks like no player on our team has gotten any award, but that's okay because we ended this season as the number 1 seed, winning a total of 62 games and losing only 20. And before we start simulating the playoffs, let me show you guys the player stats for the regular season. So our leading scorer was none other than Stephen Curry, averaging 24 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, and 5 assists. Zion was averaging 23, 6, and 4, 19 from Jimmy Butler, 18 from Porzingis, and 14 from Brennan Pajemski. Let's also take a look at our team stats. So offensive rating, we're not really a good offensive team. We are decent. We have the 14th best offensive rating, but once it comes to defense, we are the number 1 best defensive team in the league. Point differential, we're the 4th best, and 3-point shooting, we have been making about 14 3-pointers a game. And now in the first round of the playoffs, we're taking on the New Orleans Pelicans, the same team we made a big trade with in the regular season. They have themselves Jeremiah Fears, Trey Murphy, Sadiq Bey, Draymond Green, and Yves Missi. Let's start simulating the playoffs here and see how things go. Game number 1, we do end up winning. We win this game 121-80. We outscored them by 41 points. Butler with 28 and 10, 28 from Zion, and 15 from Curry. Can we also win game 2? No, we cannot. It looks like we do lose game 2 here, 115-98. Trey Murphy 28, Sadiq Bey with 28, and we fall short here. Game 3, we do go on to win 128-88. Curry 32, 26 from Zion, and a 20-point double-double from Jimmy Butler. We win game 4, and we do not gentleman sweep them, but we do end up eliminating them in game 6. And so far, Curry is averaging 27 points per game, 20 from Butler, and 20 from Zion Williamson. And honestly, Toumani Camara might be a player we moved this offseason. Bro has been playing awful. Ever since we acquired him, he's averaging 7 points per game, 35% from the field, and 27% from the three-point line. I'm not even sure why I traded for him. I thought he would be doing a lot better, but clearly that has not been the case. In the second round of the playoffs, we are taking on the Phoenix Suns, who have Devin Booker, Grayson Allen, Dylan Brooks, Royce O'Neal, and Mark Williams, with Jalen Green as their sixth man. They were the number 5 seed. Let's see how things go. We do go on to lose game 1 by 1 point. 29 from Zion, 15 from Curry. We do end up falling short here. We do go on to win game 2, 96-75. Our defense was phenomenal. Zion with a double-double, Porzingis with a double-double, and 18 from Curry. He is struggling from the three-point line, only shooting about 33%. Hopefully Curry's able to pick things up here. We do go on to win game 3, 122-108. And there we go. Curry with 30, 26 from Butler, a double-double from Zion. Game number 4 we win, and we go on a gentleman sweep the Phoenix Suns, defeating them here in game 5, 123-117. Zion had 23 and 21 from Curry. Our team has made it to the Western Conference Finals, and it looks like we gotta take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. They have themselves Dante DiVincenzo, Anthony Edwards, Shaden McDaniels, Julius Randle, and Naz Reid, and off the bench they have Ayo Dosunmu and Rudy Gobert. Really stacked team. They were the number 2 seed. Let's see how many games they won. So it looks like they won 61 games, whereas we won 62. So they're still basically the same level of a team as we are. In the Eastern Conference Finals, we have the New York Knicks taking on the Detroit Pistons. So over there we have the first seed taking on the second seed, just like we do here in the Western Conference. Now let's see how things go here. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Curry 26, 21 from Butler and Zion. Game number 2, we also go on to win. Let's go. We win game 2 here, 122-111. Zion with 30, 23 from Butler, and 18 from Curry. Can we go up 3-0? And yes, we can. Curry went off here for 37 points, 25 from Zion, and 13 from Camara. And are we going to sweep the Minnesota Timberwolves? Yes, we are. We go on to win here in game 4, 119-106. Curry with 23, 23 from Zion, and 18 from Al Horford. In the Eastern Conference Finals, the New York Knicks are up 3-1 against the Pistons, and the Knicks make the NBA Finals. Steph Curry goes on to win Western Conference Finals MVP, averaging 26, 5, and 7. Jalen Brunson, Eastern Conference Finals MVP for the New York Knicks. It all comes down to this, the NBA Finals. If we win this series, we win Curry his 5th championship. The New York Knicks starting lineup, they have Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, and Karl Anthony Towns, and it looks like they traded for Bobby Portis Jr., who is their 6th man. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Zion dropping 36, 30 from Curry, and 21 from Butler. Game number 2, we also go on to win, putting us up 2-0. Zion leading the way here with 26, 21, and 14 from Porzingis, and 15 from Curry. Are we going to go up 3-0? And yes, we do. We win game 3, 132-121. Zion with 31, 26 from Curry, and 18 from Porzingis. All we now have to do is win one more game, and then we win Curry his 5th championship. Let's jump into Simcast, where the Knicks do have home court advantage. So far, the Knicks have the lead, and we take it. We go on to sweep the New York Knicks, winning here in game 4, 125-106. Playoff Jimmy with 27, 25 from Curry, and 23 from Zion Williamson. And just like that, we win the Golden State Warriors a championship, with Zion Williamson winning Finals MVP, averaging 29, 8, and 5. But of course, we are going to run it back another season to see if we can win Curry his 6th championship, but I do want to show you guys the player stats before we do. So in the playoffs, we played a total of 19 games, and in those 19 games, Curry was our leading scorer, averaging 25 points per game. 24 from Zion, 18 from Butler, 14.5 from Porzingis, and 11 from Podziemski. And here are the NBA final stats. Curry was averaging 24, 4, and 7. And now let's go into the offseason and see what we're going to be doing here. Al Horford does decide to retire with his 2nd championship, and we're going to allow him to ride out into the sunset. And as I said in the playoffs, we are going to be trading away Toumani Camara. I just did not like the way he played for us in the regular season, and in the playoffs, he played even worse. Andrew Nembhard is somebody that could be our brand new starting shooting guard. It looks like he's made his way over to the Los Angeles Lakers, but they do not really need themselves a shooting guard since they already have Luka Doncic, and Austin Reeves. What they do need is a new starting small forward. So Kamara should be able to help them, and Andrew Nembhard should be able to help us. They give us a counter offer. They want Will Richard for Dalton Connect. You know what? Let's go ahead and pull off this trade. We do not have ourselves any picks in the 2026 NBA draft, so let's go ahead to team player options and see what we got to pick up here. Team player options, of course, we are going to pick up the team option for Brendan Pajemski. He has been playing phenomenal for us in the season. He was averaging 14 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists on really good shooting splits. And we do need to re-sign Kristaps Porzingis this offseason, which is going to be the huge free agency signing for us. Do we have bird rights on him? It looks like we do, so we should be able to bring back Porzingis. So in free agency, the 2 positions we need to fill is a starting center role and the backup center. We are going to re-sign Porzingis, but I may honestly trade him away if there's any good trade offers out there. But I am going to go ahead and offer him a 4-year deal. What offers does he currently have? The Hawks are offering him a 2-year deal, but we'll up that and give him a 4-year deal, paying him about $21 million annually. Let's see who we could get here as a backup center. Jackson Hayes would be pretty good. He's a good interior defender. I don't really want Jusuf Nurkic or Nikola Vucevic since they're not the best defenders. Well, actually, Vucevic would be nice, but the problem is he does struggle here in 2K simulation. So I'm just going to go ahead and offer Jackson Hayes a 1-year contract minimum. And I did see another player down here, Daron Sharp. He's a really good rebounder, rim protector, and all 3 players will be accepting. We get Porzingis on a 4-year, $90 million contract, Jackson Hayes and Daron Sharp on a minimum. I did also give a contract to Kenrich Williams and Javonte Green. Both of them do accept, and we also bring back GP2 on a 1-year minimum. Even after all those signings, it looks like we are still able to offer Duncan Robinson a contract. He's a really good 3-point shooter, and we know the Warriors love 3-point shooters, so we're going to go ahead and offer him a 1-year minimum and see if he accepts, and it looks like he does accept the 1-year minimum. What I will now be doing is signing a bunch of free agents, trading them away for first-round picks because I do have a huge trade in mind, but we're going to need ourselves some draft capital if there's a chance at making it happen. And this here is a trade that I was talking about. I'm going to see if we're able to bring in Giannis Antetokounmpo to pair up with Steph and Curry. There's been rumors for many seasons now that Giannis is going to join the Golden State Warriors. It hasn't happened yet, but hopefully we're able to make it happen in this video. I'm going to offer the Milwaukee Bucks Zion Williamson, Q Santos, Harrison Barnes, and 3 first-round picks. And sadly, the Milwaukee Bucks do decline. What if we throw in a player like Brendan Pajemski, 2.5-star trade value? And they still decline, so it looks like we're going to have to target a new superstar. We were not able to bring in Giannis Antetokounmpo, but now I'm going to be targeting Chet Holmgren of the Oklahoma City Thunder. I feel like he could be the perfect starting power forward we need. He's a good rebounder, he can score, amazing rim protector, plus he can space the floor unlike Zion or Giannis. So I'm going to be offering the Oklahoma City Thunder Zion, Harrison Barnes, and a first-round pick, and just like that, we land ourselves Chet Holmgren. Okay. I thought we were definitely going to have to throw in some more first-round picks, but that is not the case. You guys are not going to believe the trade we are able to pull off here with the Detroit Pistons. I was messing around to see what we could get back in return for Kristaps Porzingis. I tried to make this trade happen. I went ahead and tried to make this trade, and the Detroit Pistons gave us a counteroffer. They want Kristaps Porzingis and Duncan Robinson for Jalen Duren and Paul Reed. And you know what? We're going to pull off this trade, bring in Jalen Duren to be our brand new starting center. Here we are at the start of this season with our brand new 9-man rotation. In the starting lineup, we have ourselves Steph Curry, Andrew Nembhard, Jimmy Butler, Chet Holmgren, and Jalen Duren. And then off the bench, we have Brendan Pajemski, Q Santos, Daron Sharp, and Kenrich Williams. And once again, we are looking like some real championship contenders. Let's go ahead and simulate the first few games of this season. The first game is up against the Detroit Pistons, who we go on to defeat 115-108. Chet Holmgren had 26, 23 from Curry, 19 from Pajemski, and 18 from Butler. And we also defeat the Dallas Mavericks, and yes, we can. We defeat them here 126-122. Curry with 26, 22 from Duren, and a 20-point double-double from Chet Holmgren. I do want to go 3 of 3 for this first week of this season, and we do end up losing to the Houston Rockets sadly, 129-115, but I guess chemistry still does need to be built. Chet Holmgren had 32, 20 from Curry, and a 16-point double-double from Jalen Duren. We're nearly rolling with a 5-star overall system proficiency. We're going to be rolling with a 4.5-star overall system proficiency, perimeter-centric under Steve Kerr. I will now start simulating until the end of this season, but if there are any trades to be made, I will be stopping at the trade deadline to show you all. At the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama goes on to win a back-to-back MVP, Darren Peterson Rookie of the Year, Darren Peterson also winning Sixth Man, Wemby Defensive Player, Scoot Henderson Most Improved, Nikola Jokic Clutch Player, our head coach, Steve Kerr wins a back-to-back Coach of the Year, and once again, we also win Executive. Let's see if we get ourselves any All-NBA selections here, and okay, so we get no All-NBA selections, but we do land Chet Holmgren on an All-Defensive First Team. We also get Jalen Duren on an all-defensive second team, and that will be it for awards. We did end this season as the number 1 seed, winning a total of 68 games and losing only 14. And before we start simulating the playoffs, let's go ahead and take a look at player stats for the regular season. So our leading scorer was none other than Stephen Curry, averaging 23 points per game. 21 from Chet Holmgren, 16.5 from Jimmy Butler, 16 from Podziemski, 15-point double-double from Jalen Duren, 14 from Nembhard, and 10 from Q Santos. This season we had a lot more players in double digits scoring, unlike last season, so let's also take a look at our offensive rating. It should be one of the highest, and yes it is. So we have the best offensive rating in the entire NBA, and the best defensive rating, and the best point differential. In all 3 categories, we are at number 1. 3-pointers, we were making about 13.5 3-pointers per game. And now in the first round of the playoffs, we are taking on the Los Angeles Clippers, and they have themselves Darius Garland, Anthony Simons, Kawhi Leonard, John Collins, and Tristan Vukcevic. And for the playoffs, I am going to be changing Brandon Podziemski's position from point guard to shooting guard, where he will jump up to an 85 overall. And the reason I'm doing that is I want Stephen Curry to play the total minutes that we are assigning him, which is 38 minutes per game. Nembhard and Jimmy Butler will be playing 32, 36 for Chet Holmgren, and 31 minutes for Jalen Duren. And now let's see how we do here in the first round. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Curry dropping 35 points, 30 from Podziemski and 17 from Nembhard. Let's see if we're also able to win game 2 here, and we do go on to win game 2, 138-96. Curry dropping 30 points, 27 from Nembhard, 19 points, and 18 rebounds from Chet Holmgren. Can we go up 3-0? And yes, we can. We end up winning game 3, 118-92. Andrew Nembhard has been balling out here in the playoffs, averaging 22 points per game. Curry with 22 and 18 from Podziemski, who's doing absolutely amazing, averaging 20 points per game in 22 minutes off of the bench. And are we going to sweep the Clippers? We do not end up sweeping them. They go on to win game 4, but we do gentlemen sweep them, eliminating them in game 5. Curry had himself 30 points, 19 from Duren, and 17 from Chet Holmgren. Whoa, Chet Holmgren also had 7 blocks and 2 steals. And just like that, we have made it to the second round of the playoffs. We're either going to have to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder or the Dallas Mavericks. Let's see which one it will be, and it will be the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavericks were the number 5 seed, and they have themselves Kyrie Irving, Max Christie, Cooper Flagg, Paul George, and Derek Lively II. I'm not sure why they traded for Paul George, but they did. Let's see how things go here. We do end up winning game 1. Holmgren leading the way here with 26 and 13. Curry with 24 and 23 from Butler. So far here in the playoffs, Curry is averaging 28 points per game with 7 assists. Chet Holmgren's averaging a 19-point double-double. And Butler is averaging 17, 5, and 5. Let's see if we're able to go up 2-0 here against the Dallas Mavericks. They do go on to win game 2. Let's see how this game went. So they won 131-116. Curry played amazing, but our defense was pretty awful, allowing Kyrie and Cooper Flagg to score above 30 points each. Game number 3, we do go on to win 116-106, outscoring them by 10 points. Curry with 21, 20 and 13 from Duren, and 19 from Andrew Nembhard. Game number 4 will put us up 3-1. We scored 145 points, but we also allowed them to score 139. Curry had 37, 25 from Butler, and 22 from Holmgren. Can we close things out in game 5? And yes, we can. Curry dropped 37 points in 37 minutes, 22 from Butler, a 16-point double-double from Jalen Duren. And now we are in the Western Conference Finals. We're either going to have to take on the Spurs or the Timberwolves, both really good teams, and let's see which one it will be. So it's a rematch of last year's Western Conference Finals taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. They still have the same exact starting lineup: Dante DiVincenzo, Anthony Edwards, McDaniels, Randall, and Naz Reid, and this is their bench unit. In the Eastern Conference Finals, we have the Atlanta Hawks taking on the New York Knicks. But let's see how things go here in our series. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Curry dropping 34, 23 from Butler, a double-double from Holmgren and Duren. We also going to win game 2. We do fall short here in game 2 by 1 single point. Curry played amazing with 41 points, but sadly we do fall short. Game 3, we will win. Bounce back game here, 108 to 81. Butler 26, 25 from Curry, double-double from Holmgren. Let's see if we're able to go up 3-1, and yes, we are. Winning game 4, 145 to 130. Holmgren with 28 and 10, 27 from Nembhard, and Curry with 24. And we go on a gentleman's sweep, the Minnesota Timberwolves. Chet Holmgren, Western Conference Finals MVP, averaging 22-10 with 3 blocks, 1.5 steal on 51% from the field. Jalen Johnson, Eastern Conference Finals MVP for the Atlanta Hawks. And that means we are taking on the Atlanta Hawks here in the NBA Finals. They were the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. They have themselves Darius Akuff, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Reese Shea, Jalen Johnson, and Walker Kessler. And this is their bench unit. Whoa, this is a really stacked team, I'm not gonna lie. Basically, every player in their lineup is at 80 overall or above, except for Osla Noel. They do have Jonathan Kuminga. We all know that he used to play on the Warriors, but now he's a bench player for the Atlanta Hawks. Let's see how game 1 goes, and we go on to win game 1. Curry dropping 30, 23, 21 from Nembhard, and 21 from Holmgren. And so far here in the playoffs, each series of ours has gone 4-1. Hopefully that's the case again. Game number 2, we do end up winning. Curry leading the way here with 28, 20 from Chet Holmgren, and 17 from Jimmy Butler. Game number 3, they do end up winning here, 122 to 121. They beat us by 1 single point. Can we win game 4? And yes, we can. We go on to win this time by 1 single point ourselves. Curry led the way here with 26, 20 and 16 from Holmgren, and 18 from Butler. Let's jump into Simcast here for game 5. We do have home court advantage on our side, and so far it's a back and forth battle, and it looks like we will be losing this game, 128 to 118. We were playing good up until the 4th quarter, and they took us by 11 points there in the 4th. And now the series is at 3-2. Hopefully this does not go to a game 7. That would suck. The Hawks will have home court advantage here for game 6. And so far we do have the lead, but can we keep it as a question? And it looks like it'll be going to a game 7. The Hawks defeat us here 105 to 92. Curry had 21, 16 from Duren, but sadly we do fall short. What I will be doing now is coming up with a defensive coach game plan, and then we'll advance to game 7. Alrighty, I have now come up with a defensive coach game plan. Let's see if we're able to win this game here in game 7, or are we going to be getting sent to Cancun? We are going to be able to win Stephen Curry his 6th championship if we win this game. We do have home court advantage on our side, and we start off the first half really strong, and it looks like we're going to blow them out 148 to 104. We outscored them by 44 points. Chet Holmgren had 31 and 14, 28 from Nembhard, and 27 from Curry. And just like that, we go on to win the Golden State Warriors a back-to-back championship, and this year, Chet Holmgren goes on to win Finals MVP, averaging a 20-point double-double. Before I end out this video, let's go ahead and take a look at the player stats here for the playoffs. So we played a total of 22 games, and in those 22 games, Stephen Curry was the leading scorer, averaging 27 points, 2 rebounds, and 7 assists. 20-point double, 19-point double-double for Chet Holmgren, 18.5 for Jimmy Butler, 16 from Nembhard, 13 from Duren, and 13 from Podziemski. In the NBA Finals, we played a total of 7 games, and in those 7 games, Curry was the leading scorer here, averaging 24 points per game with 7 assists. Chet Holmgren was averaging a 20-point double-double, 17 from Butler, 16 from Nembhard, 12 from Podziemski, and 12 from Jalen Duren. And that is going to be it for today. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new for more NBA 2K26 videos, and click here on the screen to watch my latest upload. Until next time, it's your boy Dragon, and I'm out. Peace.